like to kick off by welcoming our speaker for the day, Glenn Gaudet. Glenn is known for his work in developing consolidation opportunities and has some very significant expertise in this field. He and his partner Justin Broad drove the negotiation and acquisition of businesses to form a consolidated group of veterinary practices, which listed on the ASX as Greencross. I'm sure Glenn will be able to share more of this exciting story with you. Please join me in welcoming Glenn to the podium.
Thank you for inviting me, I guess. We'll start off. Thanks, Scott, for those lovely, encouraging words, which I wish my wife would speak to me like that. It would make me a happy person. No. Excuse me for my coffee, and I've been overseas for the last 3 weeks. I guess Rick invited me along to talk about, I guess, as an aggregation or consolidation as an exit strategy. I guess me and Justin have been around looking at lots of businesses, trying to put businesses together. What we have noticed is most vendors do not have an exit strategy at all. They build their business, work harder in their business, get a business going so it's quite decent size, but with no thought about how they're going to, I guess, maximize their value of their business, which they've been working on for 20 years. And with the environment out there, with the new Gen XY that are coming up, the younger people aren't interested in ownership. From what we've seen, they're interested in lifestyle and opportunities, but definitely not into ownership. So, there's obviously a vast opportunity for people to go out to put stuff together, or there's definitely not a lot of thought as far as exiting vendors. How am I going to get maximum value for my business? So effectively, I guess I'll go back in our history. Me and Justin, we spent about 3 to 4 years talking to veterinarian business owners. We started in Queensland first because that was the only state that allowed us to buy like a corporate to actually own a vet clinic. Every other state, only a vet could own a vet business. So after looking at about 65 businesses, talking to a whole bunch of vets, we finally got enough size, enough people say yes, with a view of putting it together. Then after that, literally spent a bit of time dealing with stockbrokers to try and get appetite for this project. I guess the interesting part when we went through this project, probably the key question that brokers would have is what happens when the vendors leave? What happens when the vendors' earn-out period is finished? Are they going to leave? And if they do, what happens to their business? Interesting enough, Greencross has shown that a vet's a vet. When he's finished being a vet, that's what he does. He still keeps on being a vet. So in that incident, it worked out well. But interesting if you look at it as far as consolidation as an exit strategy, as far as I'll talk through about one of the guys here that was involved with the Greencross project. So one of the vendors, or one of the key vendors, was John Odlum, and he had 5 businesses in Brisbane. Out of those 5 businesses, after Greencross listed, I think within the first year and a half, Greencross shut one of his clinics down because it just wasn't profitable. So with that, the Greencross listed company purchased his business for $3.6 million. At that point, what we were paying was effectively 5 times for their business. 3.67 divided by 5. So effectively had a business that made around $730,000 profit. Not a bad business, but by no means is it a business that you get excited about. At that point, he elected to take half in cash and half in shares. Since that period, Greencross has gone from 30 clinics to like 109 clinics now. Obviously, they made a big acquisition with Pet Barn. Before they made the acquisition with Pet Barn, I think their shares are around $8, $8.50. So if you look at John Allman for that example, who's in the process of retiring, because of the half that he took in cash, that 1.7, say 2 million times 8, around $16 million that he got for his business plus the cash. I guess this stuff happens, I guess, when you're in a listed company. So obviously aggregations in a listed model, if you can prove to make a profit, I guess, no, sorry, let me rephrase this. When we deal with the Greencross guys, part of them to get involved, the key question that we asked them is, can you guys, because they were running the business, can you externally manage a business to make a profit? And that was the key question. They were already doing it, so we knew what the answer was. The answer was yes. So if you can externally manage a business, an aggregation or a consolidation of an industry, the answer is yes, that works for that business. So if you got a model like that, obviously in the stock market area, the market likes that obviously sometimes, most times that is. But I guess the key thing as far as getting maximum value out of your business, if people are waiting for someone to come knock on their door, there's not many buyers out there compared to the amount of people that are retiring, the amount of younger people coming up underneath. There's more businesses that will be looking to retire than less people that are going to be buying them. So obviously, I guess for vendors, need to probably have a look at how do you get maximum value for your business. And my view is one of my views, not my only view, is if you can expand your business through acquisitions, get it to a certain size that the stock market likes, then obviously you get more value out of it. For example, I know it's a bit scattered, my talk today, apologize for that. For example, if you to buy a business normally, people are anywhere paying 3 to 4 times to maybe 5 times your profits. Obviously, when we listed Greencross, the Greencross model, we got, I think it was like 9 times EBIT or its profit. Greencross is now trading on, I think, somewhere around 30 times its profit. So obviously, to get maximum value for your business, I guess it needs to be an area that is willing to pay maximum premium for the price of that business. And the only real place that does that is obviously the stock market, because they're the ones that are willing to pay higher prices, to pay a higher premium for a business that's performing. Where if you're just looking to sell your business to a normal vendor person, you'll be lucky to get 3 or 4 times in this market. Things are obviously picking up better. So as far as an aggregation or a consolidation, I guess for what we've seen with the vet guys, if they didn't come along with this vet project, John Allman would they'd be sitting there with his 5 businesses, lucky to get 3.6 million, and today he's worth a little bit more than that. I don't know how much it is, 25 or 30 million dollars. Yeah, 950. Yeah. Well, I can take all the glory for that, because I was only on the company for the when we listed it for about 1.5 years, and then after that I moved on. So, sorry? No, I wish I did, but obviously there's a thing called the GFC, which affected a lot of people. So, but as far as, I guess, when you look at aggregations, even I was just interested in looking at Google. In the last, I think it's 13 years, they've done like 156 acquisitions. So, these companies that are big companies, they become big companies because they make lots of acquisitions. So, acquisitions is really a part of growing a big business type of scenario. So, that's about my exciting speech for today. I didn't let you get time to finish today, but it's pretty exciting. That was quick, eh? Short and sweet.
there any questions for Glenn? On the panel. Glenn?
Good. My name's Phil Nice, and what are some of the other kinds of businesses you would apply this model to? Given that you've got a successful strategy there, how do you apply to other kinds of businesses?
If you're looking at buying a business and then and you can't externally manage it, all the goodwill that you paid for is gone. So I guess when you look at the Greencross model, I think on the balance sheet it's just about all goodwill. Like, so as far as when we settled Greencross, it was about $20 million that was required to settle it. On the balance sheet, there's lucky to have $3 million of hard assets, and that would be a real question of if you were to sell those second-hand equipment, what would you really get? Type of scenario. So I guess that's the key thing. As long as you can externally manage those businesses for a profit, then the answer is that's the first start.
Right. We'll have an opportunity for further questions as part of the panel discussion. Please join me in thanking Glenn.